Hey guys, Lewis here, and in today's video I'm going to do a review of Udacity. So this is a Udacity review, and specifically I'm going to answer the question of is Udacity Nanodegree actually worth it? And I'm talking from experience here. I actually graduated from the front-end web developer Nanodegree program before getting my first job as a software developer. And so I'm going to talk about my experience because I actually graduated in 2016 or 17, I don't remember exactly. And so now I have a few years of experience for myself, and so I have a better perspective of how this nano degree actually impacted my career and how it helped me get into the industry. So a little bit of background about me. So I finished this front-end web developer nano degree, and by the way, I'm going to talk about Udacity nano degrees in general, not necessarily just about the front end one, but just in general, is it worth it? We're going to take a look at the pricing later on, but is it worth it? How has it impacted my career? And so, yeah, I got that nano degree in 2016 or 17, but I was actually doing my master's degree at that point. So when I got my first job interview, I had this nano degree that I put on my resume, but it's not necessarily the thing that actually got me hired because I already have a degree in computer science. So I don't think, to be honest, that my employer actually looked at this. And to be honest, I would say that, certifications like this that you get from the internet, I don't necessarily think that they hold a lot of weight for employers. However, the good thing with Udacity, I'm going to get into this in more detail after, is that you have nano degrees. And in the nano degrees, you actually have multiple projects that you're going to be adding to your GitHub account, or stuff that you can actually demonstrate during a job interview. Very, very concrete and relevant stuff, and that's definitely what actually helped me get my first job. But more importantly, even to this day, I work with people who are professional software developers, and they don't know as much stuff about front-end web development as I do. And just because I did that Udacity sort of front-end developer nano degree, it gave me such an edge over the other developers because, the traditional path of a software developer, there are lots of people getting into software development through boot camps and stuff like that. But most people still, they're going to get a degree in computer science or, in science in general, and then they become a software developer. But they never actually learn really the science and the art of like their specific field, like front-end development or back-end development or, data science or that stuff. And so Udacity actually, for multiple months, I studied with it. And most software developers that have a degree from a university, they never actually take the time to really invest in themselves and really go through a program like this. So this definitely gives me an edge, and I was able to actually get promotions because of my deeper knowledge of front-end development, because other people are impressed and no one can do that. So definitely advantageous. So this was sort of my view of the benefits of Udacity. Now, I'm just going to show you the website a little bit because now I'm going to talk about my experience in more detail. But so yeah, Udacity has multiple programs here. You have data science, programming and development, and a bunch of stuff. It's centered around tech. And essentially, the main sort of value of Udacity, when you compare it to other sites, like, for example, if you wanted to get deep knowledge of front-end development, you could as well go on YouTube. There are actually courses, multiple hours, 20 hours of stuff on React.js or JavaScript or CSS. And front-end development in general, it's pretty good. You could go on Udemy. There are extensive programs like entire boot camps on Udemy, and it's only like $10-15 for a course, and it lasts for like 50 hours or something. You could go on Coursera as well. Coursera, has university courses. It's less expensive, and you can learn front-end development. So what is so special about Udacity that justifies the price that I'm going to talk about in a second? So Udacity, actually, to me, the main value, the main differentiator is that you actually get expert feedback. So you have these, projects. Typically in a nano degree, it sort of depends on the number of courses that you have, but you're going to have concrete projects. So for example, for the front-end developer nano degree, you're going to have to build certain web pages and stuff like that. And once you submit that project, not only do you get expert like project reviewers, that is to say that you're going to have actual front-end developers that are going to take a look at your code and comment, line by line, okay, you should do this, you shouldn't do that, and that type of stuff. And this is invaluable because, when you're getting started in front-end development or in any field as a software developer, it's easy to go on YouTube and they tell you, okay, do this and do that. But when you actually write the code, you don't have any feedback. And even in a professional environment, like I work in a company, it's really hard to get feedback from experts because I don't necessarily work with experts. Maybe people on my team have less experience than me. And so getting access to those people is really the main value of Udacity. And it's going to allow you to really take your coding to a next level, really hit the ground running really, really fast. So you get this, these project reviewers, and by the way, they actually review your projects pretty quickly. It says on the website here, 1.1 hours of turnaround time. I remember back in 2016 or 17, it was probably a little longer than that. I remember it was like 1 or 2 days, but I guess it's got a lot faster. And then you have real-time support. I don't remember having that back, a few years ago, but or maybe I didn't use it. But essentially, if you're stuck on something, which believe me is going to happen because they're going to teach you stuff that is, that you're going to encounter at an actual job, then you don't have to be stuck for hours with no one to ask. Right? Because it's very hard as someone getting into programming or, you learn something new. Very often you think that, well, if I'm stuck, I can just look it up on Google or something. But very often, the knowledge is so specific and it's so situation specific that you're not going to know necessarily what to look for. And so having someone 24/7 to chat with you and help you get unstuck and not lose time is really invaluable. And this is the whole value of Udacity to me, is not necessarily the videos or the syllabus. The syllabus is pretty much the same as what you would find on Udemy or Coursera, maybe a little bit more complete, maybe a little bit more high quality, but overall it's pretty much the same. But the real value, the real differentiator is getting experienced project reviewers that give you detailed feedback on your projects and real-time support. All right, now let me talk about pricing because I feel like it's, Udacity is pretty expensive. And by the way, I actually have a link in the description of this video that is going to lead you to Udacity with a discount applied. But so click the link in the description if you want to get a discount. This is an affiliate link. I just want to be honest with you. So if you end up actually getting into a Udacity program, I'll get a small commission for referring you to Udacity. But I would never recommend Udacity if I actually did not believe in it. I'm a Udacity Nanodegree graduate. It has greatly benefited my career. So, I'm just sharing the link here. All right, so click the link if you want to get the discount. And I'm just going to continue talking about pricing. So pricing right now is $399 per month. And so that's just like if you want to pay monthly for access, but I feel like a lot of people are going to pay for, the entire sort of nano degree, which here, it lasts for this particular nano degree program. It depends on the program. You should look it up on the nano degree program page. But this one is 4 months and it's $1,356. So you save 15%. Now, here's the trick. You can get a discount. Again, click the link in the description. And what you can do as well is after clicking the link, there is this option here which is pretty visible, but you really shouldn't miss it because this is going to give you a pretty big discount. So I'm going to click on Claim Now, and I'm just going to fill a very short form. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm full-time. What was your total personal income? Let's say I'm just getting started. I don't earn a lot of money, so I'm going to say, okay, that's really not a lot. Let's say this. Your email, I'm just going to put, like whatever. This doesn't really matter. Submit application. And now I'm eligible to receive a 60% off the regular price. Now, I'm eligible, I guess they want to make it sound like, wow, you're, it's just you're eligible. But essentially, the 60% off discount is always available as long as you, fill this form. Just copy the coupon code. All right. And I'm just going to go back. Okay, go back. What's going on? Okay, there you go. And so now, okay, the 60% off discount was applied, and now I'm paying $543 for, 4 months. So there is a 15% discount plus a 60% discount applied on top of it. So the real price of Udacity is this, right? If you pay for the 4 months, it's going to be $543, which is still expensive, but it's a lot less expensive than an in-person boot camp where you're going to have to pay, thousands of dollars, or even I've heard sometimes multiple thousands, like a 10K or something like that. It's really, really expensive. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit more about sort of what I talked about the reviewers, which I believe is the main differentiator of Udacity versus other sites and other like a YouTube and Udemy and so on. But the second thing I want to mention here is that a lot of Nanodegree programs, a lot of courses are made in collaboration with big companies. Like in this example here, this is the machine learning engineer for Microsoft Azure. So this is pretty specific, but this is made in collaboration with Microsoft, meaning that some of the instructors, some of the courses are made by people from Microsoft. So you know that the information that you're getting is reliable. It's not just like random people that they hired off the street. It depends on the course. It depends on the Nanodegree program. For my Nanodegree program, for the front-end one, I don't remember. I think there was like one industry partner. I don't exactly remember which one. It wasn't Microsoft. It wasn't Google, but I don't really remember. But this happens pretty often. All right, so now I want to talk about the syllabus, sort of the program, what kind of stuff you're going to be learning in a typical Nanodegree experience. So here I'm on the front-end web developer Nanodegree page. This is the syllabus, and typically the prerequisites are, it's pretty light. You can get into it even without knowing a lot of stuff. It's really fine if you don't know much about programming. If you've just followed sort of a YouTube video, you just know like really the basics of programming. That's fine. Now for the front-end web developer Nanodegree, and this sort of reflects the overall structure of all Nanodegrees. It's organized in courses. So you have one Nanodegree, right? That's going to be composed of multiple courses. In this case, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 courses in that Nanodegree program. So in order to graduate from a Nanodegree program, you have to take those courses and actually complete the 4 projects. So each course has 1 project, and apparently I remember this. So at the end of the program, you have one, they call it the capstone sort of project, I suppose, which is the final project to graduate from your Nanodegree program. You need to complete all of these in order to have the certification. And you complete all of these once the reviewer, the expert reviewer, actually tells you, okay, that's fine. I'm graduating you from this project. You passed. So that's how it's organized. I'm gonna scroll down here, and I think I wanted to talk about something else. I don't remember exactly. Oh yeah, I just wanted to end on the final note here is, what is the difference between Udacity and a sort of in-person boot camp for programming, right? Because I know that some of you guys, you want to make a change, you want to get into software development potentially, and you're considering going to a boot camp. So the first thing is the pricing is very different, right? For an in-person or even online boot camps, I've heard that you have to pay thousands of dollars. I feel like it's not necessarily always justified for boot camps, because you go to an in-person boot camp, you pay thousands of dollars. You're not paying for the content, right? For like the instructors telling you, hey, this is how you work with CSS and JavaScript and Python and so on. What you're really paying for is the people actually working with you, answering your questions, reviewing your projects, and giving you feedback, essentially. That's what you get in a boot camp, and that's why you pay so much money. With Udacity, you actually get that. You will get project reviewers, you get 24/7 support, but it's a lot less expensive. For a 4-month Nanodegree program, you're going to pay $500, and I don't remember how much it was, $543, and potentially you can get just as much feedback and as much support as with an in-person boot camp. Now, okay, I agree that there's something about being in person and really having the person next to you. It's different from just being online and chatting or sending emails or online communication. But the price, it's a lot less expensive to go with Udacity than go with a boot camp. And what I want to say. And oh yeah, and I wanted to talk also about the flexibility with an in-person boot camp. I think it's pretty much a full-time commitment for a lot of them, or at least a part-time commitment. You're going to have to make time for this. Whereas with Udacity, it's actually a lot more flexible. There are no deadlines, hard deadlines that you have to respect for projects and stuff. It's really up to you. You can accommodate your learning around your job or around university or whatever it is that you do. So that's pretty much it. That's my review of Udacity. I hope you liked it. And once again, there's a link in the description for if you want to get a discount for a Udacity Nanodegree program. And so click the link in the description. And thank you so much. I'll see you next time.